Welcome in courtside as we get ready for our first men's game of day number 3. And it's a doozy of a ball game as the number 9th Whitworth Pirates take on the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. Pirates playing their first game of the Classic, 8-1 overall. Blue Jays taking on their second game of the Classic at 8-3 overall. I'm Dave McHugh, joined alongside Pat Coleman of D3Hoops.com as we get ready for this Classic. We know we already got a bunch of you watching. We appreciate it. We're only slightly behind schedule here today considering the delay of the first game. Not too shabby. Let's get you starting lineups in a minute. But, Pat, your thoughts on what should be, what on paper is a dandy.
Yeah, and I think it was the most interesting game when we were putting the schedule together back in June and July, right? We looked at this game and circled it, and we don't know at what point in the schedule it's going to fall, but we know that Johns Hopkins at Whitworth is going to be an amazing game that we're going to want to watch. You know, it'll be interesting, right? Whitworth has been here before. They've been here many times before, so they're not unaccustomed to the whole Las Vegas thing. So maybe the fact that they don't have a game under their belts is probably not as big of a deal as it could be. Johns Hopkins got an opportunity to play, got an opportunity to find out, of course, what life is like without Connor Delaney at point guard, and maybe they didn't have maybe they found out some things that they needed to work on, and they got a real quick turnaround to come back here in 24 hours and take on the 9th-ranked team in the country.
So we'll get you starters the second I get this darn screen set up for myself. It's basically one of those deals.
Well, and it's 3 games, of course, left today. That's hard to believe that we've had 3 and we have 3 more. After this, Emory and Henry will make its debut. They're the last team to make their debut here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. They will face Edgewood at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific. And then to wrap up the night, Ramapo will take on Linfield, and that's where we'll be finishing off our day 3 here at the Classic.
I had it, then I lost it. Almost got it. We'll do it. We can do it over other things.
We'll do it live?
We'll do it live, they say. We'll do it live as we get ready to go. We'll get you starters, and here they come. For the Pirates, it will start with the man we all know well. Number 1, Kyle Roach, the senior guard from Marinwood, California. Number 4, Ben College, a junior guard from Portland, Oregon. He leads the team in scoring at 21.4 points a game, also the best three-point shooter and free throw shooter for the team. Number 22, Jared Christie, the senior, Spokane, Washington, a transfer from Pacific Lutheran. Number 23, Jordan Lester, the guard, junior from Sammamish, Washington, transfer from Robert Morris. And number 35, Ben Bishop, the 6'8", post from Olympia, Washington. I keep wanting to say Massachusetts there. The senior, the best field goal shooter at 68.6%. Matt Logie, the head coach in his 8th season with the Pirates, and one of the best in Division III in terms of winning. For Johns Hopkins, as we get ready to tip it up, it will be the starting lineup they had since Connor Delaney was injured. They go with Joey Kern, the 6'1 sophomore guard from Norwalk, Iowa. Daniel Vila, the 6'5 senior forward, as Hopkins gets the opening tip. Joey Fitzpatrick, the 6'4 senior guard. Michael Gardner, the 6'3 senior guard, and Noah Ralby, the 6'1 senior guard. We highlight Vila because he had such an impact on the game last night, but also fouled out, which is part of the reason Hopkins lost. Josh Leffler in his second season, 32-11 in his early career. As we are underway here in Las Vegas.
32-11 at Johns Hopkins, 81-24 as Division III head coach as well.
Shot clock down to 5. Ralby, oh, sorry, that is not Ralby. That was Gardner off the front iron, no good. And now we can settle in, as they say. Pirates, as Pat mentioned, the last team to get underway here at the Classic. We've already had, 4 or 5 teams?
Not the last team. Emory and Henry comes up next.
Emory and Henry next. You're right.
17th team to get underway. And by the way, Whitworth is in the black with the red trim and the white numerals.
Sorry.
So I know that's a thing for you.
It is for me. Thank you.
Black with red.
Black with red.
As opposed to red with black.
Well, that's possible. Up and under move in our first points of the contest go to Ben College, the Portland, Oregon native.
And, of course, Johns Hopkins in the white with the black numerals and the Columbia blue trim.
Do like the Hopkins jerseys.
I like Columbia blue.
I do as well. I've always been a fan of their blue, even when I wasn't allowed to be a fan of theirs. Vila, the 3, no good, and skying for the rebound is Lester.
I mean, we're no more a fan of Johns Hopkins than any other Division III college or university.
True. There was just a period of time where I wasn't allowed to be a fan of anybody but one particular institution. We got also different garbs for the coaches. We'll talk about that. Three-pointer well long there for Jared Christie. Whitworth's going to have to adjust to the shooting a little bit before they get going here.
That does a nice
that's a kickball. You got the steal by using a kick, did Ben College.
It does kind of look like a Brooks Brothers lineup over there on the Whitworth bench.
They go with a no. Well, I was going to say no tie. Look, it's a split. There's 3 coaches with a no tie, 3 coaches with the tie. I wonder if that was a conscious decision.
I don't know. Where's the memo?
Yeah, I was going to say maybe a couple of them missed a tie. Said, all right, we're going to split it then, 3 and 3. Matt Logie, the head coach, one of those sans tie.
I say you can always walk back up to your room and get the tie.
They might have just not put it in the bag.
That would be a bad mistake.
Vilas with the ball on the baseline. Drives in. Nice move. Oh, that did look like it wasn't going to fall as it rattled out, but it came back in as he makes a beautiful move around Ben Bishop. That could be a fascinating matchup the rest of the evening.
Yeah, nice little bit of English, I think, to get that to fall, too.
And driving the lane and putting in Kyle Roach. 4-2 lead for Whitworth early in the contest here at the D3Hoops.com Classic from the South Point Arena and Hotel here in Las Vegas. If you're in South Point, we hope you're enjoying the broadcast with our commentary, whether in the hotel, sportsbook, somewhere else, wherever the game's being presented. Joey Kern for 3, no good. Strong rebound for the Pirates. Also, if you're watching around the country, around the world, let us know. However you want to, via Twitter or via the YouTube stream. But I know we got fans in the Baltimore area and, of course, up in the Spokane area. Thanks for tuning in, whether you're watching on your phone, on your computer. Maybe you found the YouTube app on Apple TV or Amazon Fire. However you're watching, we appreciate you finding the time to join us here today. Fire! Roach backing in Ralby. Hard. Nice feed, though, to a wide open Ben Bishop, who slams it home.
And then, if you have any question, Whitworth brought a lot of fans. You can see
yes,
a little.
They did.
You can see a little of a bit there on the screen, but you could hear it after that slam.
I saw a smile out of Matt Logie. Nice three-pointer in the corner for Joey Kern.
I walked past him yesterday as he's sitting over there scouting Johns Hopkins, and I pause, and I do like a double take, and he says, "It's Matt Logie, Whitworth coach." I said, I know that. It's just like it's the extra facial hair that's throwing me off.
Yeah, he's got a little extra. He came over to me yesterday and said hi. I felt bad, a little busy at the time, but nice to see him. He and I hadn't conversed in quite a while, to be honest with you.
He said, "I'm just trying to not get carded."
He has a young look to him as Vila misses the shot on the other end. We were talking about the Brooks brothers. Oh, a little high five up in the air there from Ralby on the driving Lester. So Lester will go to the line here to shoot 2, and Ralby will pick up the early foul. We talk about the Brooks brothers look over there on the one side with the nice brown loafers for all but one. I think there's a black pair sitting there. On the other side of things, Hopkins taking a page, we assume, out of the Amherst book, whether it was known or unknown, with the bowling shirts with the Columbia blue and white look. I love those. Those are outstanding. Sir, we need a set, is all I got to say.
So here's the thing. You're going to have to remind me, like, in the summer or in the spring, because
I'm just going to remind you every day until then. How's that work? Maybe then you can just order them now and get them out of the way. And I'll tell you, XL, that way I got to fit into it, and that means I got some motivation, if you know what I mean.
I got to work on my I got to find a source then. I got to work on my sourcing, as
I
they would say.
have some sources if we need to, honestly. I do. 8-5 the lead here for the Pirates up on the Blue Jays of Johns Hopkins.
See if our friends at the Fan Rays who handle our store
There's a good idea.
do this sort of shirt.
Harry O'Neal into the game. We'll make note why that's significant here as a nice drive by Gardner, and it's a 1-point game. Real quick, O'Neal not feeling well when they arrived here in Vegas. Spent the night before yesterday's game really not in his bed in another part of the hotel room. Apparently he's feeling much better. We're looking forward to seeing him, and his lack of presence was a factor yesterday as the Pirates missed the opportunity but grabbed the rebound and reset the offense. Well done by Christie. Roach drives, and he's going to get a hip check called there on Fitzpatrick.
It took me a long time to figure out what you were trying to get at there, Dave.
I was trying to be gentle. I don't think O'Neal's night was gentle, but he's feeling much better. But again, Vila went out in the game last night, fouling out in part due to a technical foul he picked up that he didn't like an official's call. And they didn't have O'Neal to put into the game because he just didn't have the energy, and I think that was a major factor. Roach for 3, left it short.
I thought you were saying he spent the night on the couch or something, and then I remembered, wait, there's another part of the hotel room that's probably more appropriate for a guy who's not feeling well.
You feel bad for the guy. You always feel bad for those who make a trip like this. Nice roll. Kern, though, gets it blocked. Getting up and getting a piece of it was Lester. Up ahead, 3 on the way. No good for Ben College. Out of bounds. It'll be Hopkins' possession as it's 15:05 left. Still an 8-7 ball game. The 9th-ranked Pirates leading the once-ranked Johns Hopkins Blue Jays.
Am I the first person to say he should have changed his name to Ben University?
Yeah, that went through my head, to be honest with you. I mean, it's a fad now, right, to change from college to university?
That's my understanding.
Nice idea on the backdoor cut to try and get the quarry. It didn't work out, but then Hopkins recovers on defense and gets the steal. Kern with possession. He'll go to Quarry. Quarry's actually their best three-point shooter outside with better than 50%, but he doesn't take a ton of shots. 13 on the shot clock. Fitzpatrick with possession, gets it to O'Neal. He's not on the same page with Johnson. Johnson went to cut, and O'Neal threw it to where he had been standing, and it's a turnover for GHU. Stepping out is Kern and Johnson, and into the game comes Ralby and Gardner.
You know, I think aesthetically, Dave, the thing I like most about games like this is you've got guys with size, guys with speed, and guys with skill. It's a great Division III basketball game. If you're just like randomly tuning in on YouTube, which I know we get a lot of those people.
Yeah. Oh, the block from Quarry.
This is what really good Division III men's basketball teams look like.
Three-pointer on the way. Bank is open on Saturdays. He just stepped into the game, did Kevin Crossno, and buries a three-pointer.
Pretty.
Quarry drives. He takes it to the rim. Cannot get it to fall, but he'll go to the line for 2.
Yeah, and
good start.
These teams just relentlessly attacking each other right here in the early going. You're gonna expect to see that out of a team that is averaging what Whitworth is averaging offensively this season.
Yeah, just 90 some odd points a game. Shy under 100.
Dave, I avoided saying it because I wasn't sure it was wasn't a typo.
It's not a typo.
Okay.
That's a direct feed from their stat system.
Not a typo.
Vila into the game, back into the game. College returns to the game. Bishop returns to the game.
I mean,
also entering Sam Lees, a 6'4" junior guard out of Christchurch, New Zealand. Believe that's 20 hours ahead of us?
It's 20.
No, we're back
21.
3. I'm sorry.
It's 21 ahead. It's tomorrow. It's currently.
That's East Coast, wouldn't it be?
No, it's currently 1 p.m. Sunday in New Zealand.
I know it's traveling violation. I know it's 15 hours to Melbourne from the East Coast, so that's where I was kind of trying to base that off of.
Yeah.
So Christchurch, New Zealand, the northern island of New Zealand. I just know that because my cousin lives on the southern island and she's not near Christchurch.
I gotcha.
That's how I broke that one down. Really technical breakdown of that one.
Super technical. That's Dave for all of your New Zealand geography needs.
There you go.
But not your New Zealand time zone needs. I'm got you covered there.
That one. The only one I know is the Melbourne and Sydney. Three-pointer in the corner, buried by Johnson.
Johnson looked pretty good yesterday, right? Freshman from Oakton, Virginia.
Yep.
Now,
really good. He had a couple real great shots in the game yesterday. Bishop against Vila. Bishop takes advantage of his more experience, I'd argue, and it's a 13-10 lead, and I believe Coach Leffler decides he wants to talk things over, though team playing well. I think he's going to want to talk about what just happened inside. He'll take a full break. We'll take it as well. Whitworth and Hopkins off and running. 12:56 left. It's 13-10. Whitworth back with more after this.
Receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Big shots. Big dunks. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Arena in Fort Wayne.
With his third triple.
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and secure your seats today.
Welcome back to the South Point Arena in Las Vegas for our fourth game of the day. Sorry, I was trying to remember. Yeah, first men's game, fourth game of day 3. We have 3 more games on slate, so that means this is game 15 of 18. It's Whitworth versus Johns Hopkins. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Pat Coleman. Just the second time these two programs have ever played each other. Into the corner, 3 on the way, buried. Well done by Gardner, who also had a really good game yesterday. And out of the timeout, they get the tying shot. Whitworth came in 2008 to Baltimore to play in the Blue Jay Invitational, if you can believe it.
Wow.
And they won that game 70-60. Thank you, Jill Geis, for remembering that.
And so that is Bill Nelson against
Yeah, it was Bill Nelson versus
that guy.
before Matt.
The Eastern Washington
Oh my!
Seattle
How
U
did
guy.
we just do? How did you and I just do that?
We did
nice
though.
feed inside.
To go through my phone, I still have text
I've
messages.
got it right here. Well, maybe not in the game notes. Steve. Oh, Johnson jiving and getting the foul called on Crossno.
That's right. You
would it be in our
stall.
former notes? I'm not. Yeah, you go ahead. So we'll go into the line. Here is Johnson coming into the weekend.
Jim Hayford.
Hayford, yes.
Our
Coming into the weekend,
apologies.
10 of 12. He was at the free throw line a little bit yesterday as well. So a decent free throw shooter here. With a nip under 12 minutes to play in the first half, has a chance to give Hopkins the lead again. And he will.
143.95, 104.74, 115.65, 123.98. That's the last 4 games for Whitworth.
Yeah.
All of them victories.
Into the game for Johns Hopkins early in this one, Alex Shackney. Yeah, he didn't come into the late in the game yesterday as Johnson hits both. Shackney, a 5'10 freshman guard from Summit, New Jersey, brought along his fan base as well. Good crowd on hand to celebrate him. And a traveling violation called on Roach as he shuffled his feet, changed his pivot foot basically before taking off on that drive.
I'm pretty sure, as you described that you can't do all of those things illegally.
Yes. So back to the fact that the two former coaches for Hopkins and Whitworth were the ones who faced off. I would say both programs in their new coaches ended up getting some really good choices. Obviously Leffler just in his second season, but Matt Logie has proven in 9 seasons just how good of a coach, and not that he just kind of continued what Hayford did. And let's be honest, easily to do for a couple of years there, as stocked as that Pirates program was coming at when Jim Hayford moved on. But Logie, the winningest Division III coach, who's played active with a minimum of 5 seasons, hasn't won less than 23 games, hasn't lost more than 6. And there's a 3-pointer from Gardner.
Yeah, and I have to admit, Dave, I was a little skeptical when he was hired because he's got a Washington, a Spokane background, but didn't have a D3 background. Came from a. But I should understand
I thought maybe it'd be a short trip.
I should understand, coming from a Patriot League school, that's probably not all that different in the grand scheme of things.
Right. 3-pointer response by Whitworth on the tray by Hernandez.
Kind of like we were just talking about with Leffler yesterday.
Correct. Yeah, knowing. They're coming from basically a D3 of D1. The only difference between the Patriot League and D3 is scholarships, as Johnson's 3 may have been touched by Bishop but falls short. Roach drives the lane, can't get it to fall, but will draw the foul probably on Gardner. It will be Gardner. 10:31 left, and Hopkins continues to lead 18-16.
It's a great back and forth game so far, right? That's if you needed to be kept awake. If you're on the East Coast, you shouldn't be needing to be kept awake at this point, but I appreciate that.
As Roach hits the first one, we should point out Logie was a Lehigh graduate, played at Lehigh, scored over 1,500 career points, still has a school record for made 3-pointers in a career with 262. So, there's that background that I think,
Coach,
to be honest, may have been overlooked when he ended up on the West Coast. And I even have to remember, as both free throws, as you said, were good, and Whitworth pulls out the 2-2-1 kind of token pressure there, only that they weren't trapping necessarily out of it. Hopkins sees plenty of that in their conference schedule as well. That's a skip pass that skipped out of bounds.
I think you'll understand that our gym is still only 47 to 50 feet wide, whatever it is.
Goldfarb is the same floor size, different gym size.
Right.
Whitworth,
that
by the
wall much further back here.
I do want to give credit to Whitworth because they put on one of the more fascinating Midnight Madnesses and of something that I think is waning in popularity, but Whitworth still puts on a show. Backing up, Hernandez doesn't get it to fall. Rebound collected by Christie. 3 from Roach from well deep. Doesn't fall. It's actually short. Here comes Hopkins. Ralby with possession. Goes into the corner. Fitzpatrick pump fakes, drives the baseline, and he's going to get called for a travel.
Yeah, these days you do Midnight Madness, you got to make sure that you've got the fan base is going to come out and support it. And so, that's going to be Whitworth. I assume Whitman would be capable of pulling it off. I don't know if they do. I know Worcester had done it.
Yeah.
Those are the kind of
My
places.
alma mater used to do it, and it was great for a number of years. I'll be blunt, it's waned over the last few. They've moved it to a new date to try and make it a different event. I've suggested they go to a midnight game to start the season and call that their Midnight Madness.
Yeah, there's still a couple.
There's some intrigue and thought to that.
There's a couple schools doing that.
Yep. Actually, just one game this year, surprisingly.
Well, that's
Clark
hard to
versus Worcester.
Yeah, I mean, because you don't know what day it was going to be until like.
True. That's a good point. Actually, great point. They're fouled, by the way, on the drive there. As we're knotted at 18 here, 9:17 into this. Ooh, nice fake without leaving your feet. But a better pass inside off glass. Cannot get it to fall for Sam Lees. And we go the other direction with 9:05 remaining in the quarter here at South Point Arena. Sorry, half. We just got done with quarters and keeps it in ahead. Gardner's shot can't fall. Vila can't get the tip to go. Grabs the rebound, though, and kicks it out to Ralby. Ralby had an incredible moment at the end of last night's game to force overtime. Spin move, he's open, missed the layup. He got too far under the rim. But he hit an absolutely amazing shot in traffic and drew the foul to help force that game go to overtime. Granted, Vila had it on its hands. We'll talk about that later to win it. And unfortunately,
got buzzed out or whistled out.
Well, I talked to some people. They don't think that was as big a deal, but yeah, I agree with you. 3-corner from Ralby. It might have been a 2, but whatever. Long distance shot didn't fall. Hernandez picks it up, and we are going back and forth. Two teams who are comfortable doing that. Trip, fall, ball tied up. Nope, timeout called instead by Whitworth. And it'll be a 30-second, so we'll keep it here. It gives us a chance to mention last night's game, 3-point ball game. Vila gets it in his hand. He takes an off-balance 3 and got hip-checked by Shields by Platteville. I thought a right call, considering the circumstances. I thought it was a really good call.
Right, because sometimes with .1 to go, they'll swallow.
Yeah, absolutely. There was .1 left, and Vila went to the line to shoot 3, hit the first one. Timeout was called, and yes, there's an argument that he had the ball in his hands. I think the timeout was called before the ball was in his hands. It took a while to get the whistle blown.
Isn't that the important part?
Yeah, but you're going to have someone angry no matter how we do this. Vila then misses the shot out of the timeout. Short, he rushed it, to be blunt. He didn't look – he is comfortable. It's for the best free throw shooter on the team. He rushed that free throw, but then the third one buried to force overtime. But it was Ralby who had helped set that up to begin with, because remember, it was 2 possessions prior to that. So Hopkins had a great game last night. Unfortunately, Vila fouling out in overtime was part of the reason they weren't able to win it. But they are here now battling the 9th-ranked Pirates of Whitworth. And Whitworth's real good test of the season is Roach finds a way to make it fall off balance. The Pirates' significant game earlier that had everybody kind of opening their eyes was a loss to Texas Dallas, 88-79. That was the last game they played, not technically at home. And a steal and a basket, and suddenly Whitworth on a mini 4-0 run here.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise I think we'd be talking about number 2 Whitworth, right?
Possibly. Yeah, 2 or 3. Yeah. I have them at 3, despite that loss.
Yeah, I'm one of those who's
Neil stolen.
I
Could it be a 6-0 run? Sorry, I'm cutting you off. 6-0 run, now you got it.
I was just going to say I've forgiven some early season losses too. That's one of them. Augustana's loss is one of them. Whitman's loss is one of them.
I actually had them at 2 until the final poll of the semester. I moved Augustana up because of what Augustana was doing.
Yeah.
But I just moved Whitworth at 3. It wasn't a knock on Whitworth. It was more of a tip of the hat to Augustana. Otherwise, I've got Whitman at 5. I mean, that Northwest Conference, as we've seen from Linfield, too, is a darn good team. As Fitzpatrick with a nice move inside ends the 6-0 run, and it's down to a 4-point deficit for the Blue Jays here with 6:45 remaining in the first half.
You could spend your sleepless evenings watching those 11 p.m. Eastern tip-offs.
I do. 3-pointer missed.
It's funny you should mention that.
Yeah, you mentioned that, sir. Guess what I actually do nowadays. Especially since it's on the big screen, I'm not allowed to see it on my computer. So at that time of night, and we get a foul away from the ball. Looks like an illegal screen potentially called. Maybe. Looks like Krosno picks it up. So the third team foul. Four team fouls for Hopkins. 3 team fouls for Whitworth. Shot clock reset to 20. Into the game comes Isaiah Hernandez. We haven't had quickly mentioned the pregame for the Hopkins. Connor Delaney, who had started and played in all 10 games leading into this weekend, is out presumably for the season after having surgery on his foot for a small break. And Hopkins actually looked really good without him last night. You do wonder what they could have done with him, certainly. But they're playing their second game without him, and they're toe-to-toe with Whitworth and a 3-pointer in the corner. And Logie calls, or not Logie, it's Leffler who calls timeout.
Yeah, Leffler with a 30. Why don't we take a second to go through some of the other games going on in Division III basketball today. Men's basketball action, a couple of key games coming up later. But 8th-ranked Marietta bounced back from its loss yesterday to Elmhurst. They beat Lake Forest 80-77. Right now, Wittenberg, the 11th-ranked team in the country, leading Wilmington comfortably in the first half. Wilmington, of course, knocked off Wabash, handed them their first defeat of the season last night. Coming up later, Stevens Point faces Illinois Wesleyan. 16th-ranked Nichols beat Eastern Connecticut 79-73. 20th-ranked Loris over Monmouth 83-70. Number 25 Scranton over local rival Wilkes 74-64. You can get that and all the scores on the scoreboard at d3hoops.com.
There you go. So Hopkins has used 2 of its 6 timeouts. Whitworth 1 so far in this first half. Less than 6 to play in the first half, and it's a 24-23 lead for the Pirates of Whitworth out of Spokane, Washington. Kyle Roach trying to back down Fitzpatrick. Now he'll just go with a power move, but leaves the floater to the right. And will come back the other direction, does Walby on a hesitation dribble, then runs into Bishop and changes his mind. I would have too if I'm going into 6'8" Bishop. I would have gone, no, this is a bad idea.
It's like me interviewing Connor Reardon last night.
I saw that.
Oh my goodness!
I did see that.
Can I get someone get me a box?
Should have asked him to do the splits like I do for a shorter interview. Oh, take by Kern! Hopkins retakes the lead.
I've done some of that this weekend. Shirley Egner.
I learned that from anchor of mine in Baltimore interviewing jockeys.
It's a good one. Oh, jeez. Yeah.
Blocking foul with called on Fitzpatrick. That'll be a second foul, I believe.
I understand there's some horse racing things that in your market.
Well, one of the most famous was when the fan in a pre-Preakness race got onto the track during a race and punched a horse.
Oh.
How that fan didn't get trampled by the horse is credit to the jockey to keep him off. And then that jockey came on air, and it was one of the more interesting interviews I've ever witnessed. 3-pointer up, no good by College. Goes out of bounds. It will be Hopkins' possession.
Thank you for not jumping the table. We appreciate that.
I think Bishop had the thought. He had a smirk on his face, like maybe he had thought about it and then changed his mind smartly. 5 minutes remaining here. Hopkins' possession. Lead by 1 on Whitworth.
Kind of a low-scoring first half for Whitworth.
Yes. Quick passing, Kern in the corner. Yeah.
Whitworth just 9 of 23 from the floor and 2 of 9 from downtown.
There we go. Gardner with possession. Trying to reset things with 7 on the shot clock. Puts up a shot from 15, uses glass to get it home.
Like it a lot.
Yep, tried to clear out some space, found his shooting spot. And the Pirates now find themselves down 3, though not their largest deficit so far in this first half. As Vila pops it free from Bishop. That was a nice little defensive move. I like Vila on defense. He's a very good defender.
It's like Coach Leffler put up his hand. I don't know if he was calling 5 or something like that, and the Gardner
Just left
slows
it out
down,
bounds.
and then Leftward's going, no, he's pushing his arm, he's pointing his finger
Get
forward.
off
It's like,
the
let's
floor.
go, we're going. Still go.
Vila had a closeout last night on a three-point shot from the baseline that was just beautiful. He was there before the shooter realized he was going to be there, and that ball was a foot out of his. It was a Duax, I think, foot out of his hand, and Vila sent it back into the stands.
That was pretty impressive.
15 seconds left to go on the shot clock. Gardner will drive this time. Shoots it from his hip, doesn't fall. Roach gets the long rebound. Coming up ahead, he's got numbers. He finds them and lays it in. Does Hernandez as Whitworth gets to within one.
You know, since we were talking about this briefly, I think you guys were on the
Whoa,
one of the
I'm
games.
on the wrong angle. Sorry, folks. Jeez. Somehow we fat-fingered a camera angle, and you've been looking at a weird angle of the game. I apologize.
Have we been watching it on the GoPro?
Angle. Yeah. You've been watching the full 94 feet.
Yeah, the all 94. I apologize for that.
Sorry about that, folks. A little fat finger on my part.
What state is this in?
Yeah, exactly. It's very flat, except if you get to the mountains. It's a yogiism, isn't it? 60% of the time, it works every time. Foul there on the Blue Jays, just there. Well, that's just 6. So the next one will put Whitworth on the line for the 1-and-1. Drive in. Nice feed, finding space. Trying to back his way in is Christie. He'll instead kick it out to Roach. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Roach drives in, gets it hit by, was that Johnson? But they're going to say he also got a little bit of too much arm with that as well. So Roach will go to the line to shoot free throws. Who knows? I probably blew up the chat with that camera angle. I did.
Yeah,
Whoops,
you did.
Sorry about that. That was my bad.
It's kind of funny. I didn't realize it was happening either. Then, of course, because of the buffer and the whatever, I could go watch it for about 45 seconds. Like, yeah, I could understand why that would be pretty annoying.
I basically put it there to break up what was going on with the camera during a timeout, and then I just forgot to go back. That's what happens when you multitask. As
Dave,
Roach
producer,
hits 1 or 2.
producer, play-by-play person, the whole 94 feet.
The whole 94 feet.
Jeff?
It is a cool angle if you really
Chef.
get it on a big screen. Not on a small screen. O'Neal for 3, leaves it short. Vila can't hold on to the rebound. Less than 3 minutes to play. We're tied, 27 apiece. And Roach saves it from going out of bounds, but can't save it from being a turnover. Up ahead, Gardner in a foot chase with Hernandez, who blocks it. Oh, perfectly timed jump and then reach by Hernandez.
I love that. That's nice, and I love that they let it play.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And a quick step and a shot from Christie gives Whitworth the lead yet again. Gardner was convinced he was going to get in there with no problems because he had Hernandez too far into the basket, but it did not work, and Hopkins calls timeout yet again. Hernandez, though, with a beautiful effort to reach over the top. It's a 30, so we'll keep it here, and I promise I won't change the camera angle.
Leffler giving instructions to Gardner. He's like, I want you to get into the front court and then call a timeout and come right back over here.
Yes, absolutely. We'd like to discuss some things, if you would not
But
mind.
we'd like to discuss them in the front court rather than in the back court.
Right. Whitworth, little known, founded back in 1890. That one always surprises me because I think for a lot of people, you forget how old some of the Western schools in the country can be.
Well, especially one's not in L.A., right?
Yeah, absolutely, especially up in the Northwest. Of course, the Northwest, beautiful part of our country. If you've never been, I highly encourage you to. I have enjoyed my short visits up there.
I have not made any visits up there.
Mount St. Helens, the water, oh, it's just outstanding.
You know, it's on the list. We're getting there. Haven't seen any football in Washington either.
Yeah, I want to see some basketball for sure.
I understand.
Three-pointers good as Gardner says, okay, so I'm going to have a little trouble maybe hitting from close, so I'll just take the deep shot instead. Hopkins regains the lead, 30-29. We've had quite a few lead changes in this first half.
Yes, we have.
Roach backdoor cut. Got the layup. Great. Well done by Roach because he made a great step out as if to receive a pass from Christie, and then went backdoor on his defender, and Christie found him. That was a tremendously good Princeton-style play.
Yeah, Roach is living over there in that corner, either putting it up from the corner and hitting it or driving that baseline.
Kern with a 3, no good, back iron, 90 seconds left in the half. Pirates lead by 1 with possession. Roach is going to waste no time, puts up the shot. It caught the rim, or it caught the net. Hernandez saves it from going out of bounds. Hernandez then saves it again from going out of bounds, feeds Roach. Roach will drive, missed it short. Rogie thought there was contact. I honestly couldn't tell from my angle if there was. It was on the other side. Kern for 3, hits it, and Hopkins has a 33-31 lead. And Logie still having a few words for our officials, as we'll get a sub here. Coming in will be Krosno. He'll replace Lees.
They use media timeouts in the Northwest Conference?
I think they do.
They do not in the Centennial, right?
I think that one's mixed. Less than a minute left.
Just wondering from like a stamina standpoint,
I can't
right?
remember if Swarthmore does or Hopkins does. I can certainly check.
But not like on a regular.
Not regular basis,
yeah.
no. Krosno with the basket. No, not on a regular basis for sure. 33-33. Tie ball game on a nice Krosno basket. 39 seconds left. We've got about 16 and a half seconds between shot clock and game clock. And that's a little too aggressive from Krosno on the hedge as he trips up Ralby. That will not turn off the shot clock, as it will go from 16 to 20, and we now have a 13-second difference.
Plus the
14.
shot clock is not 35 anymore anyway.
Right, exactly. I've gotten used to that final. Not finally, but I've enjoyed the 30.
Yeah, me too. I like not having to think about which.
Yes, that too, by the way.
Which is which.
Robbie's in trouble. Double team came over. He throws it way away. Nicely saved by Gardner. Kern for 3. If he hits it, it's incredible. 3-pointer off a completely broken play.
In all honesty, you should write that up and design it and put it in.
Yeah, why not?
That was really well done.
An absolute Hail Mary toss out of a double team. Gardner goes up and saves it, and in the process doesn't land, feeds Kern, who buries a 3. Really? Of course. Long 3 at the buzzer will not fall for College. And at the break, Johns Hopkins has got the 36-33 lead.
Well, isn't this fun?
Wow, that was fun. That was. Listen, Hopkins has played a game out here, so they're a little bit more comfortable. Whitworth hasn't, but it's not like Whitworth's playing badly. I don't want to say that that's the reason. I'm just saying that could be a factor that Hopkins is just comfortable out here. But that said, both teams are going at each other.
Right,
and playing good.
This could be what it looks like when Whitworth is playing somebody who's a really strong team. Now we know that Johns Hopkins lost 2 games early, and then they lost to Platteville here in overtime last night. But I don't think that anybody believes that Johns Hopkins is not going to be an NCAA tournament contender and a contender to maybe still get back to the round of 16 or beyond.
Matt Logie took some time talking to the officials at the end of that one.
Well, that sounds like fun for everybody.
We'll see how that shakes out in the second half. But in the meantime, Leffler and his staff taking their time to let their guys get some time to talk themselves. You actually can see it if you're looking at the screen just to the left there. The group of blue is the coaching staff.
See, that's what that camera is good for.
That's what we use it for, just for those really unique opportunities.
And the broom on the floor.
Yeah, we like watching. We should call it broom cam. 36-33 at the break. Johns Hopkins did use 3 of their timeouts. They got 3 left, but we'll keep an eye on how that plays out in the second half. We're going to take a bit of a break here. Go ahead, you too. Get a drink, stretch your legs, get a bite to eat. We're going to do the same. We'll be back in about 9 minutes or so with stats and get you ready for second half action. You are watching the D3Hoops.com Classic, 9th annual from the South Point Arena in Las Vegas. It's the 9th-ranked Pirates of Whitworth 33, the Blue Jays of Johns Hopkins 36.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
My name is Marcus Walker. I was All-State, won a state championship, a high school All-American, and played college and pro ball. I played because I love the game. I grind to be the best. I sweat because I put in work. I'm strong because I believe. When I want to bring it before game time, I come to the house that college basketball built, the CBE. No matter your skill, take it to another level. Elevate your game right here at the College Basketball Experience at Sprint Center.
Big shots. Teamwork. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Women's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Krager Center in Salem.
Bounces right back with a triple. Great job here. And that'll do it!
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and get your tickets today.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass. And cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success. And prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
In any way that we can.
To get a friend home safe.
To never blame the victim.
It's on us.
To stand up.
To make our community safe for all.
It's on us.
It's on us. To look out for each other at parties.
It's on us.
To be more than just a bystander.
To step up and say something.
It's on us. All of us.
To stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
I coined my definition of success in 1934. My definition of success is peace of mind attained only through self-satisfaction in knowing you made the effort to do the best of which you're capable. It's like reputation and character. Reputation is what others perceive you to be. Character is what you are.
College has given me the flexibility to pursue my passions and my interests, and I've recreated my identity for myself aside from just being an athlete.
My greatest personal discovery has been that I am capable of doing things that I didn't know I was capable of doing.
To be able to study what I wanted to and continue to play the sport I love, all of those things came together very nicely in one package in Division III.
I used to never really talk. Ever. I was afraid if I said something wrong, everyone would laugh at me. But then I started to play golf with Special Olympics. It helped me to find my voice. And now everyone else is speechless.
Big shots. Big dunks. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Arena in Fort Wayne.
With his third triple.
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and secure your seats today.
Great moments are born from great opportunity. That's what you have here tonight. That's what you've earned here tonight. This is your time. Now go out there and take it.
Football has taught me a lot throughout my life. It's definitely had a huge imprint on who I am as a person. Competing at a Division III level created that opportunity for me to go to college. Not only was I the first one in my family to graduate college, but I was really the first one to even go. Being the first one, I'm breaking that cycle, and now that I've graduated, I'm not sure what's the next step, but I know I have a lot of doors open. And a lot of those are open because I played football and ran track here at Otterbein.
Being a part of the different activities and organizations that I've been a part of, I'm actually able to see myself where I'm like, hey, I actually can make a change. I'm one person that can make a difference.
Division III has helped me to develop teamwork skills, critical thinking skills, time management skills.
It's not just about basketball, or it's not just about school. It's about developing yourself as a person altogether.
Welcome back courtside here in Las Vegas as Johns Hopkins Blue Jays lead the Pirates of Whitworth, ninth-ranked team in the country, 36-33. We'll get you a quick look at the stats before giving you a little more of a break before we get second half action underway for Whitworth. Their 33 points coming thanks to Kyle Roach's 9 points on 3 of 6 shooting, though he's 0 for 3 from beyond the arc, 3 for 4 from the free throw line with 4 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 turnovers, and 2 steals. Second on the team with 6 points is Jordan Lester on 2 of 4 shooting. Team's leading rebounder is Jared Christie with 7. Team is shooting 13 for 31 from the floor at 41.9%. They are 2 for 11 from beyond the arc at 18.2% and 5 for 6 from the free throw line. For Johns Hopkins, they're led by Michael Gardner, who leads all scorers with 13 points. Braden Johnson has 11. Gardner is 5 of 10 from the floor, 3 of 5 from beyond the arc. He also has 2 assists and a steal. For Johnson, he's 3 of 4 from the floor, all of them from beyond the arc. So he's 3 for 4 from that category too. 2 for 2 from the free throw line as well. Leading rebounder is Joey Fitzpatrick with 4. Team is shooting 13 from 30 from the floor, so 1 less attempted shot, the same makes as Whitworth at 43.3%, but they are 8 for 17 from beyond the arc at 47.1%, and they're 2 for 4 from the free throw line. Whitworth is out rebounding Hopkins 19-17. Whitworth has 10 assists to just 6 turnovers. Hopkins 9-7 in that category. Whitworth also leading in points in the paint, 22-8, and off turnovers. They've scored 7 points to Hopkins 3. Second chance points 3-2 in favor of Whitworth. Fast breaks points in favor of Whitworth 4-0. Bench points, though, Hopkins has the lead in that category, 13-10. Whitworth is led by as many as 6 with about 7:24 remaining in the first. Hopkins is led by as many as 5, though is back at the 11-13 mark. Whitworth's actually led this game for 9.5 minutes so far. Hopkins for just 4:48, but it's been tied for nearly 6 minutes. We've had 5 ties and 7 lead changes in just the first half. We'll take another break. When we come back, we'll get you second half action. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic from Las Vegas. The Blue Jays of Hopkins lead the Pirates of Whitworth. Back with more after this.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
This is why we love sports. It's in the way they play, free from the pressures and all the money talk. Playing for simply the love of the game, where everyone has a shot at their definition of success on and off the field. This is what we love about sports, and what we can still love about college sports.
My name is Marcus Walker. I was All-State, won a state championship, a high school All-American, and played college and pro ball. I played because I love the game. I grind to be the best. I sweat because I put in work. I'm strong because I believe. When I want to bring it before game time, I come to the house that college basketball built, the CBE. No matter your skill, take it to another level. Elevate your game right here at the College Basketball Experience at Sprint Center.
Welcome back here at the half as we get ready for second half action. 36-33 the lead for Johns Hopkins. You are watching the 9th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. It is day 3 here from the South Point Arena in Las Vegas. And I am Dave McHugh alongside Pat Coleman for this contest. Ira Thor joining us as well. It'll be Whitworth possession to start the second half. As we get underway, they are wearing their black uniforms with white numbers and crimson trim. Hopkins with the white uniforms, black numbers, and Columbia blue trim. As Whitworth starts it off. Nice up and under move against Vila. Goes Bishop. And Whitworth starts off with a basket to cut the deficit to 1.
Bishop, good performance and a couple of minutes of work in the first half. 2 of 2 from the floor in 9 minutes, and a good start here in the second half.
Vila the drive, leaves it off the side of the iron. Coming the other direction. And Ralby gets a steal, then throws it off of Lester.
Someone's going to try to overrule him here.
Roach felt otherwise. I think it's the right call. I had the same angle as the official who came in to check. Roach tried to lobby, does not get the win. 36-35, the score remains. Matt Logie doesn't like the call. I don't know what to complain about. I thought it was a good one.
No, he did it. It's a good job. It's a right call. Just saw it.
Maybe they wanted a foul? Who knows?
I don't know. The only thing I could see them saying is perhaps if they thought he was already out of bounds when he threw the ball.
Roach gets the steal off. Ralby got triple teamed on the baseline. They'll feed inside to Lester. Lester up and under. No, does not fall. And Gardner pulls it down and gets it over to Ralby. Ralby, Johnson. Johnson. Fitzpatrick, Gardner, and Vila to start this second half for Hopkins. Feed to Vila. He's got a matchup advantage. Goes for the shot off glass. He'll go to line to try and convert on the three-point play. Best free throw shooter for the Blue Jays. In the meantime, it is Kyle Roach, Ben College, Jared Christie, Jordan Lester, and Ben Bishop on the floor. It's the starting fives for both teams to start this second half. They've got 4 timeouts for Hopkins, 4 for Whitworth. We will adjust our screen.
I did see that.
That happens more times than I can count. Don't worry about that timeout flashing for Whitworth. They obviously didn't call it, but it's the only way I can change it.
I went through the whole charade yesterday, the one game I was producing, of taking the scoreboard off and then adjusting the timeouts and then putting the scoreboard back on.
I do that sometimes too. It's a glitch I've reported. It hasn't been fixed.
Yeah.
Roach made an issue of it. He's going to go to the line for the free throw. We should point out Vila did convert on the three-point play. And Roach hits the first. Roach, who is a 78.7% free throw shooter. Fitzpatrick out. Kern in for the Blue Jays. And left that one short. So Ralby calling apparently something inside. As you heard him go past one of our 2 crowd mics, court mics. Nice feed. Oh, better read though by Christie. Quickly up ahead, forcing the issue. College gets it to fall, but Gardner's going to draw the foul as he grabbed the hold of College's wrist. So 2 points for Whitworth. Chance to tie it here. Our next 2 teams are already in the building, by the way. Emory and Henry and Edgewood taking in the game.
Emory and Henry should be here. They've been great on Twitter and Instagram the past several days, but haven't played yet.
We're tied at 39. Vila with it, top of the key, being guarded by Roach. He'll hand it off to Ralby, and Whitworth does a bunch of switching. Kern will come to the top of the key. He'll drive in, throws it off the side, and somehow gets it to fall. Well, if that'll work. Top of the key now with it. Driving in is Christie. Feeds it to Bishop, and it's tied up, and Bishop doesn't like the attention from Ralby.
I mean, hello, whistle blows. We can let that go, guys.
Well, Ralby was falling backwards.
Yeah,
Ralby called a foul, not a tie-up.
Hey, Ralby had no choice but to remain in contact. It was that or get trampled.
He was going to hurt. He was going to get hurt. You're absolutely right. Because if he falls, he either falls into the stanchion or over the court. And guess who's falling on top of him?
Right, exactly. Someone who's a little bit bigger, in fact, also.
Krosno into the game here for the Pirates. Feed to Lester, drives in, makes contact, no call, gets the shot to fall though. And this game, for I believe the 8th time, has been, or 6th time, has been tied.
It's tied a lot. Leads changed a few times.
Just a couple, 2, 3.
That's the kind of expert analysis you get from me.
Exactly. A few more subs here.
Also, I can pronounce Willamette.
Fitzpatrick back into the game for the Blue Jays. Into the game for the Pirates comes Sam Lees from New Zealand. Hope you're enjoying your late lunch there while watching the game. Thanks for tuning in. Feed over the top, too far for Vila to be able to get a hand on, and picking it up is College. Comes to the near side to Lester. Lester to Christie. Christie the drive on Vila, and Vila will pick up the foul. Agrees with the official onset infraction, and we'll see if Whitworth can get the lead here on the free throw line. His second, we'll keep an eye on that. To the question we raised in the first half on media timeouts, Hopkins and the rest of Centennial does not use them. Whitworth and the rest of the Northwest Conference does, and Whitworth does use them for home matches, as we've seen from other opponents like Linfield and the like. It's the 8th lead change in this contest. So it may be a factor to some degree. That said, Whitworth played a good chunk of games to start this season, not in their home gym.
Yeah. And this game is not being played at 143 to 95 pace either.
Absolutely not, no. 43-41, the Pirates lead. And they played the first 5 games, including an exhibition, in the corner 3 as Hopkins responds, and we got another lead change. Unofficially 9 of those so far in this contest.
Nice shot by Gardner.
Spin move, and what a shot! That was a beauty from Christie.
I like the athleticism. It's just fun to watch these teams kind of go back and forth right now.
Agreed. Yeah, the first 5 games, Montana, St. Olaf, Whittier, Trinity of Texas, and Texas Dallas, all games not in Whitworth's gym. As a drive by Fitzpatrick will be rewarded for free throws. They then came home for a conference game against Willamette and Pacific, then played Laverne and Deauville in non-conference play, and then Concordia Chicago at home. So they've had an interesting kind of start to the season. In the meantime, chance to flip the script again. And it's another tie as the free throw is good from Fitzpatrick, who came in just 4 of 11 on the season from the free throw line. Misses the second, so we're tied for the 7th time tonight. But it's a long rebound for the Hopkins Blue Jays. As out on the court now is Tom Quarry, who had possession, now gets it back. He'll shoot from deep. That will not fall, and a strong rebound from Lester.
Impressed, though.
Yep.
Looked good when he left it.
That might have been an extra step. That's not going to be the call. It's going to be a basket as Whitworth takes the lead on the drive by Lees. He's got a chance at a 3-point play. Hernandez will check into the game here for the Pirates. He replaces Lester. And Lees will go to the line here to shoot the free throws, 10 of 13 before today's game on the season. Rattles out. That one took a couple bounces inside the rim before finding its way out. So 47-45, Whitworth the lead. Kern gets it to Vila. Long 3 from Gardner, left it short, but Vila gets the rebound. Then out to Kern, misses the three-pointer. Quarry picks up the rebound. Long possession for Hopkins as they have extended it already, and Matt Logie's all the way up to mid-court. Why there was a reset on the long 3. He's got an argument. That long 3 did not hit the rim. Gardner for 3. That did hit the rim, but it's Roach who picks up the rebound.
Yeah, it's really close to having hit the rim. I'm not sure. The first one might have, maybe.
Roach draws the foul from Fitzpatrick, and Vila comes over to have a conversation with Fitzpatrick about that technique. 6-team foul already, so Whitworth will be to the bonus already here with 14:45 left, but Roach has got 2 free throws in the meantime to try and extend this lead. He gets the first one to sneak through. Johnson into the game to replace Vila, so Hopkins is going to go a little bit small here. Haven't seen O'Neal much yet in this second half. He's recovering from illness. Thought we'd see more of him and just haven't, as it's now a 4-point ball game. Not the biggest lead.
Do we expect to see Johns Hopkins relying this much on the three-pointer?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they're going to be an outside shooting team. Maybe they're taking more than you'd expect.
22 from outside, 16 from inside.
Wow, what a block by Gardner as he returns the favor on Hernandez. Gardner coming up. Remember in the first half, Gardner had that breakaway that Hernandez said no thank you on. So there you go. Quarry for 3. Timeout. Hopkins.
Wow.
And hands in the air. Matt Logie saying to Roach, I think, on that one.
Defense, get out on that guy.
It's a 32nd timeout, by the way.
We know he's going to shoot the 3 because everybody else currently is shooting the 3.
Oh, they call it as a full? A little confusion.
Get a scoreboard refresh.
We'll take it. Yeah, let's do that. We'll keep it here and get a scoreboard refresh.
Of course, some of the games, the 8 o'clock Eastern tip-offs just underway, so we'll get you updates when we can. on WashU and Augustana, on 5th-ranked Hamilton and Ithaca, on 10th-ranked UW Whitewater, and Concordia of Texas. We mentioned earlier, Marietta defeated Lake Forest 80-77, bounced back from a loss earlier in the weekend. I'm just going to scroll down and pick out random games. How about that? Centenary of New Jersey over New Rochelle by the score of 78-75. It was Methodist over Ferrum 72-70. St. Mary's of Maryland over William Peace 74-67. Utica over Fredonia 88-63. Emory over Oswego State 91-73. Manhattanville defeated Stevenson 100-92. And it was St. Mary's of Minnesota over North Park 76-67. St. Mary's last year 1-24. This year the Cardinals 6-4 under new head coach Joe Fano.
Nice. Thank you for the update, sir.
There's so many games today. I just pick out a scroll down, pick a game, scroll down, pick a game.
We are back underway here. 49-48, Pirates lead the Blue Jays. 14 minutes left to go. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Pat Coleman here at the D3Hoops.com Classic. 9th annual. There's a foul on the floor. If it's on Vila, it's his third. It's not. It's on Johnson. It's on, Johnson. That's his second foul. Into the game comes Shackney, and his crowd support makes that known. It's got about what? It looks like about 12 people up there.
I don't know. It looks or sounds, right?
Well, I'm looking right at us. I looked for the cheers this time and spotted them. Roach to the line to shoot. The 1-and-1. Missed it, but got his own rebound on the deflections. And then throws it away, and that will bring the blood pressure of Matt Logie to another level, as he says to Kyle Roach, calm down. I will say, and maybe if you're looking for a fault of Kyle Roach's, he's a very good basketball player. That is one thing. Sometimes he lets the game kind of get a little too quick. He doesn't calm things down when really calm is the best option as that ball is deflected out of bounds, if that makes any sense.
Yeah, nice job by Sam Lees, our man from New Zealand, getting his arms up and deflecting that pass.
New Zealand, of course, home of the America's Cup currently as they defeated the U.S. in Bermuda a year ago. I am a huge America's Cup fan, so I'm not a fan of New Zealand right now. They smoked the U.S. in Bermuda. It wasn't even close. Beautiful environment, though. I loved it better in San Francisco, the previous version, as we get a shot made, but a foul away from the basket. It was on the rebound, so the basket will count as Bishop and I think Vila were battling. No, it wasn't him. Oh, it was on Quarry. So Quarry picks up his second. And so in one of those odd situations, the basket will count, and now we'll have a 1-and-1.
And Josh Leffler asking for an explanation.
And Josh is talking about some of the offensive pushing off. That's been a common theme from the Blue Jays. There's plenty of that. There's a particular player for Swarthmore who does that a lot in the Centennial play.
And around it off.
Missed it, yeah. So couldn't take advantage of the freebie there. 13:06 remaining, and it's 51-48 the lead. Near steal here. It's going all the way. Can Hernandez save it? He does with a beauty of a play, but Kern picks it up. It does not reset the shot clock because nobody had possession. Good decision by the operator there. Kern for three. Caught net, but on the outside.
Yeah. Aired the ball.
Roach hands it literally to Bishop. Picking up the loose ball and putting it up, but missing was Lees. And Hopkins will come away with the ball and will try and calm things down themselves as Shackney has possession.
I think that's a good thing, too. It's getting a little ragged on the Johns Hopkins end of the floor here.
Gardner, kick out to Kern as Pirates have pushed the defense quite a bit out. Kern goes flying in, but does not get the shot to fall, and then a miscommunication. They thought it went off Vila. Official have a conversation. Vila is acting like maybe it went off of Vila. Vila's just his body language told me, yeah, he agreed with the fact that it did not go off of a Pirate last. And a quick conversation there between Lees and Bishop, because what Bishop was doing, Lees wasn't on the same page. And you could see Bishop come out going, hey, I'm doing this. Look for that next time, because that was thrown behind Bishop, and they're only holding on to possession because Vila hit it. Long delay here, getting this ready to inbound. Lester will do the inbounding. Floats it over the top, and College will grab it. Being guarded and harassed by Gardner. Spin move, left hand, leaves it short. Bishop can't grab the rebound. Kern does, and the Blue Jays come the other direction. Now Ralby's out there, and he certainly has been an important point guard for this Hopkins team, who are out without Delaney for the second game. They'll get used to that, but they're still looking for that floor general now. Nice fake by Kern. Outside, Vila for three, left it to the left. 51-48, the score remains. Hernandez, kick out. Back to Hernandez. Three, thought he had a foot on the line, he did not. Doesn't matter, he missed it. Gardner picks it up and will come back across the timeline. And they're going to call a blocking foul on Bishop.
I was really impressed with kind of the nifty footwork and the nifty dribbling by Gardner to kind of stop, pop, get around each of those guys.
Bishop didn't argue. He knew he had kind of followed Gardner on that play. Ralby has it. He's got Vila, Johnson, Kern, and Gardner on the fourth. Ralby will force it. Bishop blocks it. Ralby gets a rebound and puts it back in. That's sticking with the play, and the Hopkins Blue Jays are within one, 51-50.
First bucket of the afternoon for Ralby.
That's an interesting note. Leaving that short. I don't know. I guess they said it got touched. I was about to say, I'm not sure that Lester could catch his own shot, but without it hitting something. But I guess they said it touched something. And on his second attempt, they called a foul on Johnson, his third. 9th team foul. So after this, we will be into the double bonus on the next foul. Whereas in the meantime, Whitworth's only committed 4 fouls so far. Hopkins has 3 timeouts, Whitworth with 4. Free throw is good. 11:01 left to go here in the second half. The 9th-ranked Pirates taking on the once-ranked Blue Jays of Johns Hopkins. They had been in the early rankings. A couple of losses early in the season had them fall out, but the receiving points, as Matt Logie calls timeout. We can talk more about that when we come back. You're watching the D3Hoops.com Classic from Las Vegas at South Point Arena. Back with more after this.
Receive a non-athletic scholarship upon entering school.
I got the presidential scholarship, which was huge for me.
I think there's more opportunities for academic scholarships in Division III.
I did receive academic scholarships. Just being involved on campus, being a leader, all those things combined kind of get me recognized. It's a great experience for me.
Big shots. Big dunks. This trophy is not given. It must be earned. The 2019 NCAA Division III Men's Basketball Championship, March 15th and 16th at the Allen County War Memorial Coliseum Arena in Fort Wayne.
With his third triple.
Visit ncaa.com/tickets and secure your seats today.
The destination for men's basketball this year is Fort Wayne, Indiana, and both these teams would love to be there, especially Whitworth, who's had aspirations of trying to get to the national championship weekend for many years. Their rival Whitman, the first to punch a ticket from the Northwest Conference, and that, I'm sure, has the Pirates a little bit frustrated would be the word.
Pirates have had plenty of opportunities. They've been to the round of 16 multiple times, and of course, they've been to the NCAA tournament 13 consecutive years, something along those lines.
Like that, yeah.
It's like I have it. I have the notes here on my screen.
Should point out, by the way, Pirates are increasing their shooting from the first half. They were 41.9%. Now they're 44%. Hopkins, in the meantime, has slipped a few percentage points. They're also 2 for 9 from beyond the arc so far in this second half.
12 consecutive seasons.
12, yes. Pretty impressive mark, considering how Whitman has certainly made that much more challenging of late as they have won the conference. Whitworth got it last year, but before that, they had won it a couple times, but Whitworth still received the at-large bid. Something the committee would love to work on is to keep these two teams from being in the same pod. They tried it last year, and that being Whitworth and Whitman. It didn't work out. I have a feeling they're working on it for this year. As Kern drives the lane, gets it to fall, cuts the deficit to 1.
Didn't work out as in their proposed bracket was rejected by the money people.
It was rejected for a handful of reasons, including one, they weren't going to allow it.
Right.
But it didn't help that the Texas schools had no one to host, and so they had to ship everybody around. And
it was rejected for the fact that they wanted to reject it.
There is a rule in the works.
Nice basket.
Ralby drives. Yes, he'll get it to fall and go to line here to make this a 1-point game if he can. There is works potentially to force all tournaments to not have conference opponents face off in the first round. There is certainly dreams of the second. They just don't know if they can get away with that.
Tournaments meaning
all tournaments
sports.
In the NCAA sports Division III. A first-round opponent cannot be a conference opponent, which would have a huge impact on you guys in football.
Yeah, the football folks would love that.
Yes, I do know that has. I know both basketball committee chairs have said that they are part of a group who've requested that. Oh, Kyle Roach having a weird game. He just has moments there where the focus disappears, and that one there where he started to look away before getting the ball and it bounced off his shoulder out of bounds. Johnson out, Fitzpatrick in for the Blue Jays. So we'll see how that translates. I said, what about the second round? And both of them gave me the same answer. Oh, we'd love to. We just, baby steps, folks, baby steps.
How about write the rule that says they can't play at the same site in the first round?
Yeah, that'd be a good way to do it.
See if you can get by with that.
Gardner misses the shot. But honestly, that would have an impact on basketball when you get 3 teams in from the same conference.
Yeah, that's
like
true.
The Northwest Conference
As it should.
Could have happened, and it does on the women's side. That'd have a huge impact. Missed shot, rebound by Hernandez, and it's a jump ball. Good call.
Hopkins basketball.
And it'll be Hopkins possession. Thank you. So the first round would have an impact in ways for the Northwest Conference or Texas schools, et cetera. It's the second round that, unfortunately, is the undoing for schools like Whitworth and Whitman, though we'll see. We'll move on from that. That's a topic we can dive into more in late January and February on this great show, if you've never heard of it, called Hoopsville.
Who hosts that show?
I believe this gentleman named Dave McHugh on Sundays and Thursdays, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern on most Sundays and Thursdays. We'll be back on the air Sunday, January 6th. We were going to try and do one Thursday as a pre-record, but we got some technical glitches to work on. No technical glitches for Hopkins as they retake the lead, 57-56 on a beautiful shot in the corner from Fitzpatrick. The Pirates just not 100% here. And this is usually what you would call a business trip. That's how they've attacked it in the past. That shot falls, and Whitworth retakes the lead on Lester's effort. And I say business trip, though. This year they came into town a day earlier than they usually would, Pat. So I don't know. I've seen more smiles on the team. I don't know if it's as much of a business trip as they have had in the past. Vila hits a shot, but it won't count as the foul was ahead of that on Lester. But literally they have come in like the night before, the morning before a game, done their games, and then headed out of town. They came in a little bit earlier this time. I saw a little bit more of a laid-back Pirates squad. No knock on it, just a little difference.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have to make a time change. That's helpful.
Right,
Their travel's a little shorter than the rest. That's a mentality thing. What works for your team and what works for your team in 2017 might not be the same as what works in 2018.
And Hopkins flew out the day after Christmas, though didn't play until the 28th. They got here on the day after Christmas. Steal, and the Pirates have possession. They lead this one 58-57.
I flew out here on the day after Christmas, and I got here on the day after Christmas.
I flew out of the same airport as Hopkins. That's all I'm saying. I don't know if their athletics director has made the trip. Apparently, he and I had the same experience in 2 different states.
I say Dave flew out of the same airport and then experienced a couple of others also.
Yeah. One for a very, very long time, and one for as short a period of time as you can possibly make it. Walked off the airplane, walked onto the other one with barely a moment to sit. There's a foul called as Vila was getting the ball. Got a nice little forearm shiver from behind by Bishop.
I know we talked off the air about the Detroit airport.
Yep.
1 year coming back from the Final Four in Salem, I was flying back to Minneapolis, and so was Coach Hansen from Gustavus Adolphus and one of his assistants. and we had to do the thing where you change from one terminal to the other.
Oh, no.
And we had been
tie ball game.
We'd been late getting out of Roanoke, and
oh, jeez.
And we were like, we're like sprinting.
That's the worst.
And that's when I was in like the best shape of my adult life, and it's still like awful. I hate it.
Vila hits both, retakes the lead. The worst I can compare to that one was traveling with the family to and from actually the Pacific Northwest. Our hop skips through Chicago both times had 45 minutes to an hour. Somehow we got the one terminal in United on the furthest point going to the furthest point in the other part of the terminal.
O'Hare.
I love O'Hare until that moment. I wanted to show my family O'Hare. We saw it at lightning speed. Kids were good, though. Hernandez to drive, gets blocked by one but fouled by the other. We'll see who they call the foul on. I take that back. Blocked and fouled by the same individual. It was Quarry, who I think just picked up his third. 10th team foul, so that double bonus is in effect, though not here, as it was going to be 2 shots anyway for Hernandez, who, as we mentioned, 7 of 10 coming into the day. The Spokane native is a transfer of both Carroll and Lewis and Clark.
Carroll of Montana?
I couldn't determine that. It's a great question. I forgot to confirm. I was assuming based on where they're located, but considering there is a Carroll in Division III, as you and I know, I couldn't be sure.
They were here last year.
Can't remember if there was those kinds of details. I don't think there are.
Carroll College, which is not significantly helpful.
Nope. That's
still
hits the free throw. Timeout call. It's a 30. We'll stay here. I'm double checking who the timeout was called by. It was called by Whitworth.
Elsewhere, WashU with the early lead on the third-ranked Augustana. That 18-17 with 9:02 to go.
Wait, say that one again?
Yeah, WashU leads Augustana 18-17 early on. 9:02 to go.
I just want to make sure.
I
just want to make sure I heard the right team. Sorry.
You did. It is Wittenberg leading Wilmington 52-35 early in the second half there.
Wilmington just knocked off Wabash yesterday.
Yep.
Wabash's first loss.
And 14th ranked Worcester leading Ohio Wesleyan 41-28.
Of course, I don't think Worcester will be 14th ranked much longer, as they lost 3 straight going into that game.
Yeah,
First time in 30 years. First time since Steve Moore's first season at Worcester. And I didn't even know Division III existed the last time they lost 3 straight.
It's possible. It's possible.
Less than 7 to play here, and a good one. Tie ball game, 59 apiece between Whitworth and Hopkins. Feed to Vila, and he lays it home, though that looked closer than it needed to be.
Didn't it?
Yeah, it looked like it was going to roll off, didn't it? And Coach Leffler, did he call a timeout? He did. He called a full timeout. We'll take it as well. Blue Jays retake the lead by my unofficial count. That is the 13th lead change of the ball game. We'll be back with more after this 1-minute break.
It starts right when you hit the court. You imagine your finest moment. The game-winning shot that gets you to the dance. A monster dunk or no-look pass, and cutting down the net. Sports lets us dream of our own success and prepare us for our finest moments on and off the court.
I just wanted to get good grades and to do well. But it also made me realize that I have a lot of career goals.
You're there to get a full college experience, not only participate in your sport, but participate in things outside of that. And it's all about growing as a person.
My coaches have helped me with figuring out who I really am. Their lives are dedicated for us to succeed.
Welcome back to the D3Hoops.com Classic in Las Vegas at South Point Arena. We should point out, if you're enjoying this game in South Point, whether it's in your hotel room or somewhere else in the casino hotel or somewhere else, hope you're enjoying the game more than just the video, as we're providing the audio end of it this year. If you're watching it online, whether on your computer, your mobile phone, maybe on a streaming device of your choice to put it up on the big screen, thanks. And by the way, let us know if you're watching the game via Twitter at D3Hoops or at D3Hoopsville, or use the hashtag D3Hoops. As the drive there out of the timeout by Whitworth is unsuccessful. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Pat Coleman. 61-59 the lead by the Blue Jays as Ralby comes up a little bit gimpy off of that moment on the baseline and then asks for the ball back.
I would say also on the website we have 12 of our D3Hoops.com Classic conversations with 12 of the 18 teams so far.
Talk about an ad-lib that just worked.
That worked, man. And also we haven't missed anybody yet, so we could still get all 18.
Awesome.
4 to shoot.
Gardner for 3, missed it. And Johnson keeps it alive. Kern faked it, and he got Christie in the air, and that's always trouble. So Kern will go on the line here to shoot the 1-and-1. Second personal foul. I'm trying to see if I don't think they've got him on the live stat. They don't have the lead change information, do they?
No, I didn't see it. I keep looking.
Update.
At Presto on that one.
Changes I mentioned.
Wow. Sorry.
Carroll College of Montana confirmed NAIA, thank you out there, Isaiah Hernandez, and then graduated from Lewis and Clark High School. So I saw it in the information, and then I misread what that was intended to be, so I apologize. It was a great story in my version.
That Lewis and Clark, those guys did some pretty important stuff. They should have schools named after them.
They do.
Multiple ones. Multiple colleges even.
Hopkins hits both, 63-59. Not their biggest lead of the ball game. 5:49 left. Roach drives in. He's going to go to the line to shoot 2. As picking up the foul is Fitzpatrick. I think that's his 4th. It is with 5:45 left. That will get Ralby back off the bench quickly. Roach will shoot here. Roach, I said, had an interesting game, and it includes those here at the free throw line. First one is good. He is now 7 of 10 from the free throw line. He is 4 of 11 from the field, 1 from 4 for deep, though he's got 11 rebounds.
Yeah.
That one will jump out at you because I didn't realize he had been all over the place like that. First one is good. Second one is good, so he cuts the deficit to 2, 63-61. And there was a foul on the rebound? There was a foul on the shot. That's a rarity, too. So we've seen 2 rarities in this game. The shot and the foul away from the ball, and then the free throw shot that was made with a foul on the rebound. And so we will stroll to the other end of the floor where Johnson will take a 1-and-1 here because Whitworth, that was their 9th team foul.
Record for fouls at a D3Hoops.com Classic is not something we track.
Thank you.
It's 5 held by many.
Leffler's angry about something. I'm not sure what it is. Missed shot and the rebound pulled in. So we're in the double bonus the rest of the way for both teams. Second half, 5:40 left. The 9th rank, Roach lowered his shoulder and Johnson was there to meet him. And Matt Logie's not talking to the refs on that one. He's talking to Roach, who picks up his 3rd. That's why I'm saying Roach is having a weird game. It's like he thinks he's got to do more in this game than I think he needs to, and he's making some odd decisions. I've seen him play better. 5.5 to play. The fans don't like the call, but it was the right call. And now both sets of fans come to their full vocal abilities for both teams. Nice feed into Vila. Gets around Hernandez. Kick out. Johnson for 3. No. And Vila gets shoved by Hernandez. Listen, it takes a bit to get Vila flying. And that one was earned. Oh, they call it on Lester, actually. That explains Lester's reaction. His 3rd. Getting interesting in the foul counts now.
Yeah, 3
and
for...
now we're in the double bonus. I'm sorry, go ahead.
3 for Roach, 3 for Lester, 4 for Krosno, and I can't scroll down fast enough. Nobody else on that side. Fitzpatrick with 4 for Johns Hopkins, Ralby, Quarry, and Johnson with 3 apiece.
I think it's safe to say now, 3-point lead. I thought highly of Hopkins coming into the game the season. I had him in my top 25. I had him there until a couple of stumbles early. Vila misses the second free throw, 3-point lead. This is the Hopkins I expected. this season, and they're showing me that. Win or lose, I'm regaining some confidence in what Hopkins can do this year. And Vila avoids the foul, but a terrific take by Christie.
And remember, the resume for Johns Hopkins is early season loss to York, early season loss to Salisbury.
Right.
And those are not bad squads, right? They're
Salisbury's having an inspirational season. And so that loss, I initially discounted as Hernandez tips that away, but now Salisbury's continued to play well.
I say now the fans were actually on their feet.
Well, Matt Logie got them on their feet. He turned around and gave them the universal get on your feet and get loud indicator.
Gloria Estefan song, right?
Yes, I believe it is. 64-63, 4.5 left here. Ralby is going to get inside, but in trouble on the post. Kick out, that's not a three, but Gardner got him the fake out of it. Kern fakes, he'll go for the three. That's going to be well short. Vila tries to keep it alive, he was held. And that is going to be foul number 4 on Lester. He doesn't like the call, but Vila's his right arm was pinned to his waist.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Here's the problem. I think the shot clock was to 1.
It was at 1, absolutely.
So that's not the best of fouls. That said, Vila is good as a free throw shooter coming into the weekend at 96.8%. He's actually missed quite a few here this trip, and he's now missed 2 in a row. I wonder if the shooting lines have kind of gotten to him. That one he rushed like he did last night, second of 3 that would have won the game.
Yeah.
Watch when he takes his time. Had extra hesitation. Now he left that one short.
I didn't think that was taking his time either.
Maybe not. 3 straight misses now for Vila.
Wow.
Game stays 64-63 Hopkins, and a little too aggressive by Johnson that time. That will be a 2-shot opportunity for Roach. These two teams going at it. This is a fun game. Fun game. Coming up next, it's the Edgewood Eagles versus the Wasps of Emery and Henry. As we find another stinging animal to get into the mix. I mean, especially in the ODAC where you got Hornets.
Yeah.
You got Wasps.
Yellow Jackets.
You got Yellow Jackets. Isn't there 1 or 2 others? I don't remember.
Lynchburg.
Shenandoah. The free throws are good. And tie ball game, I should say. 1 of 2 were good. Another tie. The crowd has definitely gotten loud, and Matt Logie wants them louder. Vila with the ball. Ralby. 3:52 remaining. 9 on the shot clock. Ralby. Kick out to Gardner. Gardner's going to drive in. Feeds it to Vila. Kick out. Kern on the way. Splashdown.
Wow. That is a big 3. And Vila, what a great presence of mind to not put the ball up in a bad position in traffic. Open guy, wide open on the perimeter to nail it.
Especially because Bishop had gone over to Gardner, so Vila had the open opportunity, but you're right. Hernandez forces one up, doesn't get it to fall, but Vila, presence of mind to know Kern was open, and we had the perfect angle on that one, and that was a beauty of a shot. And Hopkins has got a 3-point lead. Their largest of the game has been 5. Hernandez nearly picks Ralby's pocket there. I like how Hernandez plays defensively. Really good with his hands.
Kern with 17 points now, by the way.
Into the corner. Pump fake by Fitzpatrick. Drive, goes reverse layup. Cannot get it to fall. Vila keeps it alive, but Bishop grabs it.
Nifty looking reverse layup. Just did not quite get in.
I was going to say, need a little more English to get that one to fall.
Un poco.
Roach. Spin. Ralby goes nowhere. Tries to tie it up. It comes loose. Vila gets it. Gets collided by Bishop, who's checking on him. I think that was inadvertent. Bishop doesn't like it. They call it jump ball or timeout, I think. Vila was trying to get a timeout. Oh, nice moment there by Bishop and Vila. As Bishop came over to check on Vila. They're going to call the foul. They do not call the timeout. I thought Vila was trying to get the timeout.
Well, and again, it goes back to something you said a couple of minutes ago, Dave. It's another position, another time when Roach is trying to do a little bit too much, I think.
Yeah, and Ralby's not the kind who gets stuck on his feet. He's very quick on his feet, moves his feet, and so when Roach tried to spin around, Ralby was still there. And Vila breaks that 3-shot slide there at the free throw line, buries that one. Yeah, Ralby he stays there. And so, spin move, a lot of guys will get kind of by to one side and get stuck there, and you're gone by the time the spin moves there. Whereas Robbie doesn't. He tends to stay right there, misses that one. So Vila's actually missed 3 of the last 4.
Yeah, he's 5 for 9 on the night, which is not what you expect from a guy who comes in shooting 97% from the line.
And you do wonder if it's the shooting line, to be honest. Just a bigger space than they play in Goldfarb.
I don't know.
It's a much bigger place than Goldfarb.
A little bit.
Whitworth plays in a bigger arena. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Roach kick out. Thought about the 3, did College. Now he'll force it.
Yeah.
Wow.
That'll work.
That is a heck of a shot with a clock at 5 seconds from College, who we haven't talked about much, leading this team on the season at 21.4, but that's his biggest moment in the second half.
Yeah, it's practically his biggest moment of the game. First 3. And
Kern, he hits another one.
20 for Joey Kern.
Unbelievable. He was so instrumental in last night's game with some key shots, but tonight he's poured in 20. 4-point game, 1:49 left. Could we have back to? Now I'm not going to say it.
Well, I'm putting
Roach,
the tag on it.
Upset alert.
I'm putting an upset alert on
Carthage
it right now.
came back to defeat 18th ranked Gettysburg in the last game in women's basketball. Roach is going to go to the line here. As the Hopkins Blue Jays are trying to knock off number 9th ranked Pirates of Whitworth. In this era of parity in men's basketball, these results are less unexpected, as a free throw is good. Johnson in, Fitzpatrick out. Roach has another. He could buy some time on the free throw line today. He's spent quite a bit there. And we got a sub. Coming in is Sam Lees. He will replace Bishop. Matt Logie has a quick word with him. Bishop responds. Logie has the final word, and Bishop goes to the end of the bench. Probably get a bit of water, or at least say hi to his guys down there. Robbie with the ball. Gets it to Vila, getting back from him. Robbie will get to the elbow, kick out. Gardner, harassed, will drive the lane, in trouble. Still finds a hole, but misses the shot. Then fights for the rebound, but it comes loose. Roach has it. He's got a bit of an opportunity, but he calls off the Dogs smartly, as Hopkins had more men back than he had.
Yeah, you need to want to get to run your offense and get the shot you really want here.
And check on Kern. Good call. He was a little too close there. First foul on Kern as he was harassing College. College will go to the free throw line. He's the team's best free throw shooter coming into tonight at 95.5%. With 72 seconds remaining in this one, Whitworth trails by 2. These free throws are huge. Look easy. Haven't seen much of him in the second half, but Krosno, because of foul trouble, returns to the game with 4 fouls, and he will give a spell to Lees. Krosno, along with Lester, Roach, College, and Christie on the floor, and we're tied again for unofficially the 9th time in this contest, maybe 10th. Hopkins the ball. Both teams have 2 timeouts.
That Whitworth crowd and that noise right now.
Oh, it's outstanding. Kern for 3. That's 3 in a row.
Wow.
You might want to find him.
5 of 11 from downtown, 23 points on the night.
53 seconds left. The Pirates find themselves trailing by 3. Robbie all over College. Gets a hand on it. Gets the ball. Timeout.
And you can see there, you see Josh Leffler coming out on the floor after the timeout is called. He probably just made it into your frame with the excitement.
Just got to figure out if it's a full or a 30. It's
full.
a full. We'll take a break to catch our breath. Hopkins got a lead on the 9th-ranked Pirates, 74-71. Come back for the finish.
The love of the game. But for those of us who are Division III student athletes, it's more than that, a lot more.
Sure, the game is important, but as we work so hard to build both mind and body, it's more about team.
That is why NCAA Division III teamed up with Special Olympics. And in giving the gift of sport to those for whom it seemed an impossible dream, we are working to make this a better world.
Help us keep that dream alive.
You can make a difference.
Division III allows you to give yourself to other things.
Having that free time allows me to pursue the things that I want to pursue.
Division III athletics affords students the opportunity to, engage in the other interests in their campus and in their lives outside of that sport.
It allows you to just be able to do everything you want to do. I wouldn't change it for the world.
Welcome back. 46.6 seconds left in the second half. The Blue Jays with a 74-71 lead on the Pirates, the 9th-ranked team in the country. I'm Dave McHugh alongside Pat Coleman from the South Point Arena in Las Vegas at the 9th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. Blue Jays have the ball. They have one timeout remaining.
Whitworth needs a defensive stop right here, and they can get it.
Well, they got it.
Steal.
The steal works. Coming the other direction. College for three ties the ball game.
Oh, my goodness.
And Matt Logie calls timeout.
The steal just short of midcourt, and then College throws the ball over his shoulder into the front court.
Lester.
And then Lester throws it over his shoulder into the front court. College collects it there and just buries a three for the wing.
That is outstanding. You just said they need a stop. It steals it one better, throws it over his head. I mean, come on. And running onto it and burying the shot. And we are tied 74s, both teams with one timeout remaining in a dandy on the first men's game of the day.
Oh, wait, do we have two more games after this?
Yeah, we do. Ira's going to be calling those solo.
He's going to be calling the second one from the airport. I'm going to have to go get some coffee or something.
He's going to have to figure that one out. He's also going to have to produce the games. I'm taking a break. I'm done.
Joey Kern with 23. Michael Gardner with 16 to lead the way right now for Johns Hopkins. Kyle Roach with 20. College with 13 after that big three, and Jordan Lester with 12 on that side for the Pirates.
Hopkins hasn't led by more than 5 in this game. It was in the first half. Whitworth hasn't led by more than 6. It was also in the first half. The biggest lead in the second half has been 4 for both teams. That's the kind of game this one has been. Possession arrow does go in favor of Whitworth, by the way, with 30.3 seconds left.
And that's just the 5th made three of the game for a team that averages 10.2 in the Pirates.
And a big one that they needed. So Hopkins will inbound. It is Johnson, Ralby, Gardner, Kern, and Vila on the floor for the Blue Jays. Krosno, Roach, Lester, Christie, and College on the floor for the Pirates. 21 seconds left. Gardner's got it in his possession. There's about a 1.5 second difference between shot clock and game clock, so essentially this will be a last-second shot potentially. Gardner's going to shoot anyway. Leaves it short. Pirates have the ball with a chance to win. They'll get into the front court, no timeout called. All the way up. Shot by Lester, rolls in with 1.2 seconds left. Timeout called by Hopkins.
Yep, they get the ball back, and Logie and everybody on the staff is just doing this with their hands up before you can see me. I'm going to do it up here on the screen.
Hopkins was not coming down the floor fast enough defensively. Not to mention the fact I'm not sure they wanted Gardner taking that shot where he took it. He had more time on the clock and it was contested. But 1.2 seconds left. They do not have a Leitner on their team.
And Noah Ralby very nearly got the steal about 25 feet away from the basket. He made he made his opponent stop, crossover dribble, nearly got it away from him.
That's true. Both teams in the double bonus. So your others, no, 2-point game. I was going to say your strategy could be to foul here, but I would be ill-advised. Are you not entertained?
I am entertained.
Whitworth with the 2-point lead on the Blue Jays, and just no matter what, Johns Hopkins has proven themselves here. They may, unfortunately, go home 0-2, but they fought their way into it, and they're going to go into Centennial play no matter what, with some confidence and maybe a chip on their shoulder. And I fear for the rest of the Centennial Conference, which includes Swarthmore and F&M, as two of the best teams in that conference, along with Hopkins.
And last time out here for Johns Hopkins, so you do not have the opportunity to take a timeout if your inbounds play goes awry.
I forgot to
we'll run that off here.
That. Yeah, we'll make that fix. I got too excited with the ball game. So the reset. 1.2 seconds left. Johnson, Gardner, Kern, Vila, and Fitzpatrick, who's inbounding the ball. 1.2 seconds left. Quickly up to Gardner from half court. Almost hit it. Jeez!
Wow.
That was far closer than I expected it when it left his hands.
Man.
And Whitworth survives.
Welcome to the D3Hoops.com Classic, Whitworth.
Wow, what a ball game. As Matt Logie is giving a hug basically to every single player who participated in this game for the Johns Hopkins Blue Jays. And while the Blue Jays will go home 0-2, they put on two of the better games here at the event. Two incredible battles last night and tonight. Nothing but respect for that. It's going to sting, and I fear for the Centennial Conference because the Blue Jays are going to be miffed going into conference play.
Yeah, they're going to be angry.
Yeah. And remember, this is without Delaney.
Right.
Could they have won? I don't know. I'm not going to play that speculation game. But they're playing that well, and unfortunately 0-2 with Delaney out.
The final shot was close, yes.
The final shot was darn close. We do have to determine from Hopkins who might be their all-tournament player. They had a bunch of good guys out there tonight. Whitworth will move on tomorrow. They got the solo game tomorrow. There's just one game on our final day. They will take on Emory and Henry. Emory and Henry, in the meantime, is coming up next. They take on Edgewood in a game. Hope you enjoyed it. Trust us, the final shot was close. We apologize for the camera operator, apparently enjoying the game as much as we did. Let's look at the final stats in this one. Whitworth with 76 points on 25 of 54 shooting at 46.3%, 5 of 17 from beyond the arc at 29.4%, and 21 of 28 from the free throw line at 75%. Just 5 made threes. For the Blue Jays, 25 of 61 from the floor at 41%. A few percentage points cooled in the second half. 14 of 33 from beyond the arc at 42.4%. They hit key shots down the stretch. And 10 of 19 from the free throw line. They left 9 points at the most at the line, shooting 52.6%. Matt Logie will have them shooting free throws. Not Matt Logie, Josh Leffler, when they get back to Baltimore. Whitworth 13 turnovers to Hopkins 12. Whitworth 15 points off those turnovers to just 8 for Hopkins. Total rebounds, Whitworth with 40, Hopkins with 34. Assists, 16 for Whitworth, but 18 for Hopkins. Both teams had 4 blocks. Whitworth had 9 steals to Hopkins 8. Fouls, somewhat even, 17 for Whitworth, 21 for Hopkins. Bench points, Hopkins outscored the Pirates bench, not surprisingly maybe, 25-15. Second chance points in favor of Hopkins 8-6. Points in the paint, 38-18 in favor of Whitworth, and 6-0 in the fast break, none of them in the second half for Whitworth. They were led to the Pirates by Kyle Roach with 20 points on 4 of 11 shooting, 1 for 4 from beyond the arc, and he made a living on the free throw line, 11 of 15 with 13 rebounds, a double-double with 3 assists on top of that. Jordan Lester had 14 points, Ben College with 13 points, Jared Christie with 8, Isaiah Hernandez, Ben Bishop with 6 each. Hopkins did a nice job of keeping Bishop from being a major factor in this ball game, though he was 3 for 3 from the field. Kevin Krosno, who had foul trouble, had 5 points. Sam Lees had 4, and Liam Fitzgerald had a brief moment appearance, apparently, had no points. For the Blue Jays, Joey Kern led the team with 23 points on 8 of 16 shooting, 5 for 11 from beyond the arc, and a perfect 2 for 2 from the free throw line with 4 rebounds and an assist. Michael Gardner was 16 points on 6 of 19 shooting, 4 for 10 from beyond the arc, 4 rebounds and 6 assists. Daniel Vila with 11 points on 3 of 7 shooting, 11 points also for Braden Johnson on 3 of 5 shooting, all of them from beyond the arc. 6 points for Joey Fitzpatrick. Noah Ralby had 4, Tom Quarry had 3. Alex Scatney and Harry O'Neill played, but did not score. And your final score again, it's the Pirates of Whitworth, 9th-ranked team in the country, coming back on Hopkins to win 76-74. The Blue Jays go 0-2 in the tournament and are now 8-4 on the season. While the Pirates win their first game of the tournament, they'll take on Emory and Henry tomorrow. They are now 9-1 on this season. Hope you enjoyed that one. We certainly did. Coming up next, it is the Wasps of Emory Henry taking on the Eagles of Edgewood. That game in approximately a little under 25 minutes, so we are a little bit delayed. It'll be on the other stream. We hope you'll enjoy that one as much as this game. We still got 2 games left. Ramapo will take on Linfield in tonight's finale. For you Whitworth fans, got one more here at the Classic tomorrow night against Emory and Henry. Actually, tomorrow afternoon at 4 o'clock Pacific time. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. For Pat Coleman, I'm Dave McHugh alongside Ira Thor, who is enjoying it with us. I'll remind you that this broadcast is copyrighted by D3Hoops.com, D3Sports.com Network, and of course, Sport Tours Unlimited or international as well. If you want to use this in any way, shape, or form, just contact us. We'll talk about the details. Thanks for tuning in. 9th annual D3Hoops.com Classic. A dandy. Whitworth over Hopkins, 76-74.